The waiting pattern. Have you ever noticed when it's never the right time, when you want to work on a project or do something that's important to you, that there's always something else that seems to slide right in front of it? Why does that happen? Why are we putting ourselves in some sort of holding pattern and waiting pattern for the right time, the right moment, the right conditions, the perfect experience, the perfect environment, the correct signal? The thing that we're waiting for is someone else to give us permission to go and do the thing, or we think that we have to have a certain structure or certain elements in place before we can get going. The only information that you need, the only left of insight that you're going to gain is when you actually get into the experience and start doing it and start being it. And so this waiting pattern is kind of a purgatory. It's kind of this unfortunate holding station that we put ourselves in because we're waiting for all of these imaginary, illuminative, fanciful ideas that everything is going to have the stars in alignment for us to go and do the thing when the only thing that we need to do is go and do the thing. And we also think that we need more information, we need more understanding before we can actually step into the experience. And the fact of the matter is, we won't know any of it until we're actually in the experience. And we tell ourselves these things, these stories, these conditions that need to be just right, or waiting for something outside of us to show us, give us a signal, tell us it's okay to go forward, that one last bit of information, when really the only thing that we're waiting for is the information of what it's going to be like to be in that experience. Now, this is a general conversation. Definitely plan, definitely make sure that you're strategizing, that you're really clear about the things that you're moving into. But there's a certain point sometimes where we have all the resources, tools, information gathered, and we still hesitate at that mark. And so if we're hesitating at this mark, at this place, we have to really ask ourselves, what is it that's holding us back? Why are we in this waiting pattern? Because that also breeds agitation and frustration. That's not a fun place to be when we're holding ourselves back. There's a tethering, there's a tug of war that happens inside of us of, I really want to go do the thing, but I don't know how. I can't. There's something in the way, and I'm going to project it onto this excuse that happens. Or I don't want to deal with something that might be a fear, might be an uncomfortableness that I have to get through. So I'm going to kick it on down the line. I'm going to push it down into the future. And things like when I retire, I'll do X, Y, and Z. And so when we do that and we're not really addressing, well, what would it be like to be able to have the free time to do whatever I want, or whatever it is that you want to do, that you're not holding yourself back from. And sometimes we don't know what we want. We know we don't want certain things, but other times we don't know what we want. And so we have this feeling inside of us that we want something better, bigger. We're born for something more than what it is that we're into, that we're doing at the moment. And so we're looking to find other ways, but those other ways are new doorways into a place that we've never been before, and it's really scary. And so, even though we may have our senses about us, we're logical about it and practical, and we have all the tools and the resources, there still might be some block or hesitation that comes forward that is like an invisible wall, a glass plane. For some reason, we can't move over that hurdle to go and do the thing that we really want to do. Like there's something we're holding on to back in the past that isn't allowing us to move forward. And it's usually there's a bit of information of the unknown of we want to understand how this is going to happen, but we won't know until we actually get into the experience itself. And so any fear, any worry doesn't usually translate because it's an illusion, just like how we can have visions that are too fanciful that wouldn't wouldn't happen either. So when we think about in little ways how we hold ourselves back and then we're upset that we're not in the place that we want to be and we feel frustrated. There's going to come a time that's usually a breaking point where you get so tired of being frustrated that you surrender and you actually go do the thing. But we happen to put ourselves in a waiting pattern and we don't even realize it sometimes because we've validated the excuse that we've given to ourselves as a just and right cause for why we're not doing the thing. And this is a little dangerous because, as self-righteous as we can be about our own lives, and we know who we are, and we know what we want, and how we want to do things, we can also blind ourselves and put obstacles in our own way, get in our own way of just doing the thing and having the experience and being okay, being a beginner, being new, being uncomfortable, letting it be different, and not be so set in our ways. And you should know the difference between something that's you just taking a step out of your comfort zone as opposed to something risky. We'll just leave it at that. And just to really give us a moment of awareness of, are you holding yourself back in any way, shape, or form in your life before you move forward? We're moving into a new season, a new year. And where is it that you can shed an old identity and get into a new identity, a new way of living? We're really coming into a very profound part in human history, and we can really shed some old ways about us and step into something really fresh and new. There's an opportunity to step into something really amazing going forward. And now is a great time to evaluate and vision where you can take your life, what things you might do, small, medium, and large. And what can you do with it now to start preparing your mind and your energy, your nervous system, your body into this next phase of embodiment into what it is that you want to become? Who is the version of you that you're ready to be stepping forward into the world with and playing that part now? And starting to set your days up, your mindset up in this new version of you now, and not wait for anything to come to give you this signal on the green light. The green light's here. Permission slip granted, signed, and sealed. It's now time to go and really embody that next level of you that you've been wanting if you feel like you've been holding yourself back. It's going to feel really silly after a while to see everybody else moving forward, and we're holding on to things that we don't need to anymore, or we're limiting ourselves for reasons that don't make any sense. Everybody's in their own reality, in their own world, looking at themselves, trying to figure it out because nobody knows what they're doing. And you're just going to take up space like everybody else to go and do the thing. And we don't want to overthink the steps either. We just want to put something down on paper and go, and then edit and keep going and keep growing. And you can look back at work that looks really cringy, and that's great because we all get to say we have that piece. We all have that piece or pieces. Every artist had that as well. There's a root, every beginning has a rough patch until it gets smooth. You get into the expert, extra mile highway of life. So change the idea of it's never the right time for this thing and switch it to today's the right day. Today's the day to go do the thing. Now is the right time to get started on that project. Now is where I'm going to start to plant some seeds and go into a whole new vision of where we're going to go. It's today's the day. It's time. So thank you all for being here. I love you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.